What are you doing?
When did you get here?
I don't remember.
That is not Pornhub. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. The two of us are both photographers. This is J.D. Treick, in case you didn't know. Today, we're going to share with each other our top favorite photos that we've taken, whether they're our favorite because of how they look or maybe just the story behind it. Those photos will pop up on the screen. So, without any further ado, go ahead and tell them something about yourself.
I'm also a photographer here on YouTube. I have my own channel, and I'll leave a link in the description below.
Link in the description. So, let's start off. We'll start with you, actually. What we'll do is we'll go from our least favorite of the 5 to our most favorite of the 5. So, we'll start with you, your least favorite of the 5 photos. So, we're going to pull them up on our phones. We're going to show each other. You will see them on the screen. And if you want, in the comments, tell us which one's your favorite.
So, to kick it off, I'm going to choose the deer.
The deer.
The deer. It's the one that I took earlier today.
That was today.
That was today. So I went out across the street over here to a little forested, forested. No, it's a little wooded area, tiny little forest area. And there were some baby deer just hanging out, chilling and grazing. And they actually let me get a little bit close to them and snap this picture. And what I really like about it is, one, they let me get close. And 2, the quality of it's really nice. And if you take a look at the deer here, you can see that I had them looking at me. And as I was going to take the picture, as I was pressing the shutter button, a cat ran out of the bushes, like
Was it the black cat? Furry black cat?
It was a black cat.
Yeah.
And that guy just ran right out of the bushes underneath where this picture was taken and scared the hell out of the deer, and they're all just like looking over, and then they just ran off.
To go with your story, I was actually there. I was the one that told him about the deer being over there. When I was over there taking photos of the deer, that black cat came out of a tree and ran past me, scared the living hell out of me. That was my cue to get the hell out of there, actually. So then I came back and told him, hey, there's deer over there. This one, I hate having to type in my password every time. This one, that is a light bulb that is frozen, plugged in, and working.
I remember when you showed me that the first time.
Yeah, this was taken in Middlegate, Nevada. Is my first time ever going to Middlegate. It's on the Highway 50, the loneliest road in America. And this was when we were leaving. We went inside of Middlegate Station and we took all kinds of photos. And they had like dollar bills and everything up on the ceiling. I came outside and I was like, I'm going to get some icicles. And I saw all these light bulbs and none of them worked except one. And that one just so happened to have frozen water, an icicle hanging from it, which I thought was cool as hell because it was working, it was frozen. I mean, you could see the light is on. I thought it was really cool.
That sounds like a divine calling to me. That sounds like it was meant to be.
It was the only one that was working out of every light that they had around the outside of that building. That was the only bulb.
I'm sure other photographers that may be watching this will agree that sometimes when you go out, there are certain situations that you come across that are just too coincidental. They're there, meant to be. And you have to get that moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's your next
one is going to be the lamp with the guy. Lamp guy is the name of this photo.
Oh, man. I remember that. So I was there. He spotted that shot, and I was like, well, I'll take it too. Every time I see that, I don't see a pole and 2 trash cans. Tell me what you see. I see a long thing with 2 things at the bottom.
Oh,
I'm not going to say on YouTube what it is. Let's just say chicken and basketballs.
It's so funny because I took the picture to show scale, and now when you put it that way, that's huge.
So that's one of my favorite photos, actually.
That's so good, man. You just crop that sucker out like that and just leave the good stuff.
I mean, to hell with the guy that's walking through the shadow. I mean, you literally got gold without that.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's amazing.
My original idea though, and it kind of worked out, however, not so much. My original idea with it is that I wanted to create like a rising invisible line between the guy, the shadow of the pole, and the pole itself. But I got the shadow of the guy, the shadow of the pole, and the pole itself.
I see what you did there. It's like the tower, your battery things.
Yeah, pretty much like a Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah.
In nature, you know what I mean? So.
Yep. So all right, so this one is another one from Middlegate. This is actually the loneliest road in America.
Man, I love that picture.
It was so lonely, it was so desolate that I was able to stand in the middle of the street. It's a 2-lane road, and I was able to stand in the middle of the street and get down on one knee and take this photo.
Man, that is really nice.
Yeah. And the one thing that I was thinking when I was driving up, because right here is you turn right, and that's where Middlegate Station is. I was like, that's a photo right there. And so we went and ate lunch, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to walk back up to the road, and I'm going to take that shot. And my fiance was with me. She's like, do you want me to go with you? I'm like, yeah, might as well watch out, make sure there's no cars. Make sure I don't get splat all over the road. No, not a single car, nothing. So, yeah, so there was that one.
Next is going to be the Corona bottle with the sun.
I remember that.
So a little backdrop on this guy right here. Early in the morning, I had originally planned on going up to the F, which is a small mountain F-bomb right outside of Fallon, and I was hoping to get some fog because the entire town was covered in fog, and it was early morning and nice, really heavy, and so I got up there and I did get some pictures of the fog. But on my way up the hill by where the cross is, I saw a half-buried Corona bottle. And I thought to myself, well, that might be interesting. And so I pulled it out of the ground, and I turned around, and there was a giant puddle there. And I thought to myself, well, this is a great time to get a reflection shot. And so I I guess you could say neatly, because I didn't want to kick up any,
Carefully is the word you're looking for.
Carefully, because I didn't want to kick up any dirt in the water. I wanted to have, a nice blue, clear reflection. So I put the bottle in there. And then I noticed the sun rising up. Aligned with the bottle. And so I waited for like 15 minutes in the freezing cold, surrounded by, fog. It wasn't that foggy up there, but there was still a little bit. And I'm just sitting there waiting, and eventually the sun got to the top of the bottle. And I don't know. I think it's clever because, Corona, the sun, and it just all worked out.
So this next one's kind of a sad one. So we have a friend that... in August, her husband and her daughter were killed in an auto accident. And in September of 2021, we went to the funeral, and she asked me to take photos. And I'm like, are you sure that's kind of morbid? And she's like, no, I want everything documented. He actually filmed it. She wanted it filmed. And throughout the funeral... I was taking photos, trying to be tasteful, and it got to the point where she dropped the roses into where her daughter's remains are. And to me, it's like, because I got like 9 pictures of her just holding the flowers. Like she didn't want to let go. She didn't want to drop the flowers. And when she finally did, the flowers dropped so fast, even with, a fast shutter speed and a camera that could take, 8 photos a second. I missed it. But I got the very end of it with her hand still there. Like she still has the flowers in her hand. And the flowers at the very bottom of the frame. And to me, that just symbolizes, her struggle and her trying to let go. So that's why that one means a lot to me. It's not the greatest picture, but I mean, it's just, to me, it means something.
It has meaning, absolutely. All right, so for the next one, I'm going to choose the Cyberhead from the science fiction shot that I did.
I remember that.
I had gotten off of work, and I came home, and I wasn't tired, and I had nothing to do. So I used a little bust of a robotic head, and I set it up in front of my TV. I used my TV as a backdrop. I went on YouTube. I found I guess you could just say a generic science fiction background. And I chose the highest resolution that I could for it. I, paused it, and I took this photo. The first few photos didn't come out so well because the lighting wasn't good, so I used an RGB lighting thing that I have, and stuck it to blue and made it happen.
So for my fourth, I think this is fourth, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for my fourth one is the obligatory cross.
The cross.
So we have, as he mentioned, and as you guys have seen in a POV video that I did, we up at the F, there's this big cross that lights up at night, and people go up there, and teenagers go up there and drink and throw bottles at it, whatever. Now, I'm not a religious guy, so like I'm not one for taking pictures of a cross, but I was driving to pick my fiance up from work one day, and I looked while I was driving, and the clouds in the sky were just so amazing. They were everywhere, and they were dark, they were gloomy, but the sky was blue. And so I'm like, I need to go out and take photos. So I came home, dropped her off, and I'm like, I gotta go take some photos. She's like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. I'm probably just gonna go down the street and take a couple photos. I'm like, I'm not going to the F though. I went to the F. I went to the F because as I got out to the road, I was like, well, there's no shots here. Everything's in the way. There was nothing clear. Like, I'm just going to take pictures of clouds. There's nothing interesting to put in front of the clouds. I'm like, screw it. So I drove up to the F. And when I was up at the F, I was looking for different shots of the cloud. And I looked at the cross. I'm like, wow. Like, I'm not religious, but some people may find that divine. Is that the word? I guess.
A little touch of divinity in there.
Yeah. So, and the way that the sun is creeping through the clouds, and then how it's kind of blossoming, or whatever the word is, it's like sunbursting, whatever.
Flare.
And then flaring. There you go. And the darkness of the clouds, and then that bit of brightness right behind it. It's kind of divine, And so I thought, why not? And I took the shot.
And on to the last one. Now this was tough for me to choose because it was so close between the Cyberhead and this next picture right here. It's at Liberty Pond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the bench and the silhouette of the tree in the background. The original picture for this was all bright and happy, and I was just not having any of that. So most of the magic from this picture came in the edit. And what I really enjoy, it's really relaxing to look at. It's just dark, and there's like a very subtle, sinister attitude to it. It's definitely like something that I would expect to see in a horror movie, and I just really like it.
So for my last one, my favorite out of these 5, I had recently got a Sigma 100mm or 105mm off of eBay for $100. And that lens doesn't cost $100. That lens is very expensive. The only reason I got it for $100 was because the autofocus didn't work. So I got it. And it turns out that it's also a macro lens. So right after we moved into this house that we're in, I went across the street to the same place he found the deer, and I found this shopping cart. And inside the shopping cart was a light bulb. Just a light bulb with a bunch of junk. And if you look at it, he's actually the subject in the picture.
Yeah.
So what it is it's just a macro shot of this light bulb with the way that everything is hitting it, the colors inside of it. And then you just see his head poking out like, what are you looking at?
It's like, what's up? What's going on here?
So, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, actually. And just, I like the colors and the way that the photo is done. That's why it's my favorite. I mean, it's nothing special. I've taken better photos, but this one always just jumps out at me. Every time I see it, I'm just like, ooh, that one. So
I love the depth in the reflection itself, and the fact, and that light bulb was only about that big.
Yeah, it was pretty tiny. I was in there.
It's really a testament to how light carries information, I think, because even something that small can create such a, an in-depth.
It's crazy.
Nice picture.
So I hope you guys enjoy our stories about our 5 favorite photos. Let us know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. What was your favorite photo out of all of them? Do you have a favorite photo that you've taken? And if you have, send me a link to it. I'll check it out. Also, make sure to follow J.D. Treick on YouTube. His link is in the description. And I think that'll do it. I'm pretty sure.
That'll do it.
Yep. So until next time, guys. Yeah, there it is. Peace out.
Peace. I don't know what to say. I wasn't prepared for that.
So you give me your lens if you win. No, if I win. I get that lens if I win. If you win, I'll give you a lens cap.
Are you kidding me right now?
Let's do it. Rock, paper, scissors. Come on. Let's go.
How about a lens cap in the 17 to 55?
Okay. Right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. I win.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I got it.